These are the type of games that win you titles or derail your momentum. Arsenal under the lights, Molineux rocking, Wolves desperate. If Arteta men want to prove that they deserve the Premier League this season, this is a game they deserve to win. Welcome back to About Arsenal. Tomorrow, the Gunners travel to Wolves to play a Molineux in what is going to be a pivotal Premier League fixture. This was a game that was meant to be played on the weekend of March 22nd, but because, as we all know, Arsenal and Manchester City are playing in the Carabao Cup final, they had to move this fixture forward. Man City will have also played Crystal Palace on the same time, but Crystal Palace has their Conference League playoffs to play this period, and because of that, the game with Man City, which is now a game in hand, will now go down sometime maybe in April. I can only hope that that game in hand will be like Jimmy Lannister's hand, if you know what I mean. Away games in February are really comfortable. The pitches are very heavy, the crowds are very loud, and Wolves are home, known for their intensity. For us now, this is just another 3 points. This is a game where we need to maintain the pressure in the title race. And that when we played Sunderland and defeated them 3-0, Gyökeres was feeling so fly with himself. We're 9 points ahead of Wolves. No, ahead of Man City. My bad. And they were going into the game against Liverpool with the mindset that if they had lost it or drawn it, it would have been cut it pretty much. But Man City went to Anfield, got a victory, then the tides turned. They played against Fulham before we played Brentford, and they smashed Fulham 3-0, dropping the lead to just 3 points, which meant that when we went to the GTEC Community Stadium to play against Brentford, we needed 3 points at the absolute. But unfortunately, we had just one, and now that lead has gone up to just 4 points. This clearly means that we need to win Wolves to take it to 7 points, and that's what matters right now. Anything less than a win against Wolves, and I think our title challenge is going to be in serious jeopardy. Now, looking at the home side, they might not dominate possession, but they are very dangerous in transition. What Wolves are renowned for, very quick, wide players. They are very aggressive and pressing in their midfield. Their midfielders, João Gomez, and Krejci, they have loads of ball recoveries. They are very physical, What we will know for sure that they're going to be very compact in this game, and they will target our fullbacks for counters. They will use the crowd energy, of course, to disrupt our rhythm. But another key thing that happened about Wolves is that in recent times, their goalkeeper, Jose Sarr, has been in phenomenal form. In the game against Nottingham Forest that cost Sean Dyche his job, Nottingham had 35 shots. Yes, 35. And they could not find a way past Sarr. For those that had him in their Fantasy Premier League team, he gave them 12 points. That just shows how much of a crazy game that was for Wolves. But Arsenal has to be very mindful of the trade that they're going to pose, knowing fully well that they are currently last in the table with nothing to lose. But these are the kind of sides that can actually, be challenging for you. As for the Gunners, they're coming into this game after a lovely FA Cup tie against Wigan, and of course, the reward for playing Wigan is a clash against Mansfield Town, which we are looking forward to, of course. Arsenal has a very strong defensive structure. Controlling midfield is always very improved. We're very good in transition as well when we finish our chances. Against Wigan, Iberiche was very, very good, had a very wonderful game. 2 assists, one to Noni Madueke, who placed a first-time finished. That has now given him 3 goals in his last 5 games, which is quite good for his form. Of course, another pass to Gabriel Martinelli, who has now got into double figures in cup competitions. That's quite amazing when you think about it. So Arsenal is going to be very, very mindful of each other both can pose. This is a game that you expect them to win, but one thing we know for sure, Arsenal are going to show their defensive stability. Arsenal are going to show their midfield dominance. And of course, we know that the Gunners are a threat from set pieces. Moving over to injury and suspension news, Wolves will be without their captain, Totti Gomez. He has been out for quite a while. And when they played against Everton, Wang Hee-Chang was suffered, I think, like a hamstring injury. And those are the 2 main injuries in their club. As for us now, we have the long-term absentees like Mikel Merino, who went for his surgery on his foot, and as we know, he's out for quite a while. We also have Kai Havertz, who suffered a muscular injury prior to the game against Brentford, and unfortunately not going to be in our ranks. We have Max Dowman, who has been injured for quite a while on his ankle. He's just back in full training, but we're still monitoring his progress. And the latest injury that Arsenal had was for the captain Martin Odegaard when we played against Brentford. When Michael Kayode launched one of those his evil crosses, Seb Vandenberg go ahead of Gabriel, and instead of Odegaard to use his head to clear the ball, he wanted to use his leg. And I think the spotter impacted him somewhat. It was very clear that he got injured there because from that moment onwards, Odegaard was basically out of the game. We could not really get much from him, and it was quite unfortunate to see. Bearing in mind that we already had Kai Havertz injured, we already said one area out on loan, and of course, Iberichi Eze was subbed at halftime. So we're basically like a man down pretty much. And unfortunately, that game ended in a draw. Odegaard also missed the win against Wigan, and I think this game is going to come too soon for him. We can only wish him well because he's an important player for us, but at this point in time, he might not be available for selection in tomorrow's game. Looking at the latest results, in the last 5 games, Wolves they lost to Man City 2-0. And when that game, that the game where there was some controversy around the penalty call between Mamouche and Mosquera, that the ref made a very good call in my opinion. And they lost at home to Bournemouth. Eli Junior Krupi scored an amazing goal, 0 backlift, lovely technical finish. After the game against Bournemouth, they played against Chelsea, and that was where Cole Palmer scored a hat-trick. 2 goals came from the penalty spot, while the last one was from a Cucurella pass. Then there was the game against Nottingham Forest that ended 0-0, which ultimately cost Sean Dyche his job. And of course, the win against Grimsby in the FA Cup. Very, very disgusting pitch in all honesty, but they did enough to get a victory. And now we know for sure that because of the win against Grimsby, Wolves are going to play Liverpool in the 5th round. To us now, they played against Leeds 5 games ago, 4-0. A goal from Martins Mendy, a lovely cross into the net by Madueke, and goes from the striker Vitor Gyökeres and of course Gabriel Jesus. After that, we followed this up with the Carabao Cup semi-final second leg clash against Chelsea. Arsenal won 1-0 in a game where Kai Havertz scored a very, very late goal to send Arsenal to the final of the Carabao Cup. This was followed with a 3-0 win over Sunderland. The first goal came from Zubimendi from outside the box, a lovely shot that he used to go past Robin Ropes. And Vitor Gyökeres came from the bench and scored a brace. After the win against Sunderland, Arsenal played 1-1 with Brentford. We scored first from Noni Madueke, a looping header from a Hinkapie cross. But unfortunately, Lewis Potter equalized and it was 1-1, taking us now winning streak out. But the Gunners got back to winning ways against Wigan, 4 goals. First goal was scored by Noni Madueke, the next one was by Gabriel Martinelli, the was by our OG, Mr. Ongo, and of course, Gabriel Jesus. So going into this game, Arsenal have had 4 wins in their last 5, while Wolves has 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 defeats in their own last 5 as well. Going to predict the lineups, the player Rob Edwards to continue his preferred 3-5-2 setup. Jose Sa will be in goal. We expect him to continue playing in that position, while Krejci, Bueno, and Mosquera will be the ones playing in the 3-man defense. In the wing positions, we have all the Gomez guys. We have Angel Gomez, who will be on the left wing back spot, the Englishman. We have the Portuguese Rodrigo Gomez, who will be on the right wing back spot, while the combative João Gomez will play alongside Bueno as the holding midfielders, with the exciting youngster Matthias Mane as the attacking midfielder. New signing Adam Armstrong, who replaced Jürgen Strand Larsen, will play alongside Tolu as the forwards for Wolves. When we Arsenal played against Wolves at the Emirates, Tolu scored the only goal for the away side, and we're hoping that he doesn't do that as well. To the Arsenal team, I would expect David Raya to come back in goal ahead of Kepa Arrizabalaga. Hinkapie got a good rest in the FA Cup weekend, so you're coming for Miles Lewis-Kelly. Julian Timber, we know I've been managing this load for quite a while. He's going to come in for Ben White. I think Saliba should step ahead of Mosquera, not the other way around, because he played some valuable minutes in the Wigan game, and he should be fit enough to start alongside Gabriel. So apologies for that. I should have put Saliba in the graphic. In midfield, Declan Rice had a full rest, so he should be playing this tie. Of course, we have to be Mendy as well, who will play alongside him. Mendy came on as a sub in the game against Wigan because Ben White got that injury and we had to move Nogard to center defense to allow Salmon to go to the right and the tactical tweaks. In as much as everybody was enjoying seeing Saka as an attacking midfielder, I don't think he's going to start in that position in this game. We're going to play a very easy there, where we have Leandro Trossard, who got some good rest on the weekend on the left-hand side. I don't know whether Saka is fully fit enough to start, and Madueke is in very good form. So I think I'll start with Madueke in this game. Then I'll bring Saka as a sub. In the London derby on Sunday, Saka can actually start. Gyökeres, of course, will lead the line. To keep tactical battles, what's important are the battles in the central areas will determine the tempo. The likes of Bueno and Gomez will want to battle against Rice and Zubimendi. But once Rice dominate those second balls, Arsenal control the game. However, if Wolves start disrupting our build-up early, we might struggle to get a rhythm. And that part where we need to be very tactical will be our wingers. I would expect to see Arsenal's wingers, Trossard, and of course Madueke, play against the likes of Gomez and Gomez. And of course, those are the guys that will need to come up pretty good because we would expect Wolves to play a very serious low block. Very, very annoying, but just what it is. Arsenal needs to dictate the tempo of this game. We need to score fast. Early goals actually disrupt low blocks. And of course, avoid any emotional reactions as the game is going on. What we did against Wolves, against Wigan was very good. 4 goals in 30 minutes. I wouldn't mind that at Molineux. To match predictions, the last time we played Wolves at Molineux, it was a 1-0 win. That was the game where Mikel Arteta became a prima donna, sending Miles Lewis-Kelly off for a tackle that was supposed to be just for a yellow card. But that day, Ricardo Calafiori came up with a goal, scored the only goal that was required for us to win the game. But tonight or tomorrow, actually, I would expect Arsenal to do better against Wolves. This is a game that we are capable of winning, and hopefully we'll do what's required. I'm guessing like a 2-0 win, very routine win with a clean sheet. That will take us 7 points out of Man City to put them under some form of pressure. Yeah, so that's pretty much a match preview for the Wolves game. Looking forward to seeing it tomorrow. I won't do a watch along, but I'm going to do a match reaction, which will be very late after the game, as you would expect. So expect that from us. Then going into the weekend, we'll do some London derby stuff, have a couple of videos here and there. The road to 4K is still very, very real. You guys are doing well. Thanks for all the subscriptions and and all that. I really appreciate. But of course, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Can you give me your starting lineup for this game? And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Until the next match reaction.